Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Channel 6 Central Kentucky TV, Community Focus on Washington County. Welcome, J.T. Burton.
Thank you.
From Springfield, son of Alma Burton, my good friend, and Alma Burton Edlin. Of course, I always call her Burton. And,
Yes.
So J.T., you are Alma's son, one of how many siblings do you have?
I always say 10.
10.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And very nice brothers and sisters that you have. And you, of course, have left us here in Washington County. You were here as the coach at St. Catherine College. And, we all bemoan the fact that St. Catherine is closed, about did us in. And that would have been a good place for you to come home to retire to.
Yes.
So, but you've been in ball and coaching all your life. So I'm just going to let you talk and how you started out, JT.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. But I started off when I graduated from college, which is Tennessee Wesleyan University now, in 1999. And as soon as I finished there, I came to St. Catherine with Ryan Swanson, who was the head coach then. Helped him there, stayed there for a year. Went from there to Marshalltown, Iowa with him.
I did not know that.
No, just ask David about that experience. And did that for a year. Then I got on with the local
Did he fire you?
No, David was really good to me. He really helped me because when I came home, I left, I got out of college, Coach, I got married to my wife, Carla Burton, and I didn't have a job, and David helped me out, until I found one. So, then I got on into Washington County High School, and I was there for 1 year, and I was an assistant on the men's program under Bam Carney. And then the following year, I became the girls' basketball, head girls' basketball coach. Was there for, 4 years. I had some success there. Then I went back into college to St. Catherine. And I went there for years as an assistant because there was a junior college, which is a 2-year school. They went from 2-year to 4-year. I became the head coach then. I was there for 6 years. Then after that,
took St. Catherine to national
tournament.
Yes.
We went to the national tournament twice. We in 2011 and 12, and we got beat in the first round. And in 2012-13, we made it to the Elite Eight. And then from there, I went to University of Tennessee as player development, and then we got let go there because some unfortunate circumstances that I had nothing to do with.
Right.
And I worked and then I got a job at Montlow State, which is a 2-year school in Tennessee, which is on the other side with Nashville, close to Murfreesboro. Went there for 2 years, won 55 games in 2 years, only lost 13, made it to the Elite Eight there for the first time in school history. And then last year, I became the assistant at Morehead State. There for a year under Preston Spradlin, young staff, great coach, great mentor to me. And then I got this job about a month ago at Tusculum College, which will be university July 1st.
Oh, that is great. So, you went through that awful fast. And you didn't mention, just how well those teams did under your leadership, JT. So maybe you can, of course, with St. Catherine, we know how well, and then at, but I think at Morehead, you all did pretty well.
Well, let's go back
even
to
in the 1 year
when I was at when I started with up here with the girls, the late Mr. Newton, Bill Newton, had taken them to the girls state tournament 2 years before. Then he retired, and I was fortunate enough to take his place. So he left the kettle full for me with Brittany Elin, Katie Filiatru, Stacy Tope, the Goatley twins. I mean, you can go on and go on. I mean, I can keep going on with that. But we was fortunate enough to make it back to the state tournament with that group. And then when I was at St. Catherine, we was in the Mid-South Conference in the NAI, which is Georgetown, Campbellsville. It's the hardest conference in NAI in the country. So there, what makes it such a unique situation is everybody else had 11 full scholarships for men's basketball and another 4 for academic, where at St. Catherine we had 3. And for us to bring some of the players, I had a great staff too, coaching staff. My assistants helped me a whole lot that I had there, but was fortunate enough to.
I miss those guys. What were their names?
I had Arthur Latham, who now is the head coach now at Montlow State. He took over after I left.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
May Starworth, who is now at Taylor County High School, is the head coach. Brandon Johnson, who was my former player. Terrence Withers, who's assistant coach at a high school in Indianapolis. Matt Steersman, who was a former head coach at the D2 girls side. Matthew Taylor, who was the head coach there at one time. He's now an assistant coach at Division I level at Nicholls State. Hans Desir, a kid from Miami, who's now an assistant coach at Morgan State. So everybody's moved on, yeah, and everybody's worked under, and they've been very successful.
Yeah, and you, of course, and as you indicated, you know, you had good staff at these at the schools you were with, and now and because of your leadership, JT, you won an award or two, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. I was fortunate enough to win the Coach of the Year. When I was at Montlow, I was one of the national finalists for the Coach of the Year, and it was a good honor because, but you know, I couldn't be in the Coach of the Year without my assistant coaches, who was Arthur Latham and Zach Holt. Zach Holt is going to be my assistant now at Tusculum, and the good players that I had, because now, you know, we had a group of kids that were all freshmen. They was all new. They came in and they bought into the system. So Rashawn Frederick, who was a first-team All-American now, who's going to Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati. You got, I mean, several guys. A lot of those guys are going on to Division I schools. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be I wouldn't have got that honor.
Well, but I know that you have done recruiting at all the placements you've been in.
Yes,
so you've brought on this talent to your school, because I know how many times I've tried to get you to be on here and you're out recruiting.
Yes, ma'am. It's just part of it. I mean, now it's what we call a quiet period, is where we can't go out to see any guys. We can talk to them on the phone. They can come to our campus. We can't go visit them. Yeah. So I was home. I've been home. I've been going back and forth with my niece, and who's in the hospital. So trying to support my sister. And with that being said, you know, when something like that happens, you got to set basketball. You got to set everything aside and be there for your family. Yeah,
that's your sister
Twyla.
Twyla's daughter, who's in the hospital in rehabilitation after a brain surgery,
yes,
I believe. And your mother told me, and so we want to keep her in our prayers, and because I know she's got a long recovery.
Yes, I mean, to piggyback on that, we're having a fundraiser at Mordecai's on Friday to help pay for some of the expenses, because it's been, you know, you never know until it happens to your family what they have to go through. As far as, you know, we all see the grieving part of it, of the young child who's in the hospital. That's huge. But then you got the everyday expenses, the life goes on part that people fail to forget. So on Friday there will be a concert. I forget the price, but you can go on my Facebook page and see. I mean, it's been a lot of people have been fortunate enough to share, and we're going to have a little benefit to help raise some money and to help her out.
I'll go to your Facebook page then and share that on Channel 6 and on my page, and we'll get that word out. Yeah.
So my sister's name is Twyla Johnson because she's married to Stanley Johnson. It's not Twyla Burton anymore. It's Stanley Johnson. But, you know, just to give an update, Jaquel Johnson is her daughter's name. She's doing really well. She started some different things, you know, as far as her rehab and everything. So she's doing really well for a 14-year-old, and you know, it's just one of them unfortunate things. Just keep giving you prayers and keep us in your prayers, and my sister in your prayers.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, JT. And so, well, and it was fortunate that you were able to be home during this time. So that's good, because, you know, recruiting is, it isn't recruiting time.
Yes.
And basketball season is over.
Yes, ma'am.
But But I know too that basketball season's never really over at all.
I was that thinking. No, you got the NBA season right now going into the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and then you got the NBA Finals, and then you got in July it starts back up for us for recruiting, because then you got AAU, and then it goes right into August. So basketball never stops, and basketball season's never over. Just ask my family.
Yeah. So now, you all have moved now to
Greenville.
To Greenville.
We're in the process. The girls still got they're still in school.
Okay.
And then.
How old are your children now?
I got Alexis, who is 15. They call her Lucky. Everybody knows her as Lucky.
Okay.
And then Jada, I call her Fancy. She's 10.
Okay.
So those two girls, they're excited. I mean, it's an exciting time for us, because we've been very fortunate to move up, continue to move up the ladder like I have. And, like I said in my press conference, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but I'm from Springfield, Kentucky, and I'm not supposed to be here, so.
I think someone had a little clip of that on maybe on Facebook. I might have to. Have you put it on your Facebook page?
No, I try not to. I mean, no, my brothers and sisters, I let them do that. I don't want to, It's you could go on the Tusculum College website, and then you can see it. I mean, it's a really.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I was very nervous. I mean, believe it or not, I could speak in front of a lot of people.
I know, JD. I'm surprised. You got nervous?
Yeah, I did. Because I had the crowd to the back of me. And when I stood up and they introduced me, I turned around and seen all the people. I was kind of like blown away, because, I've had a press conference before. You probably had 20 people, but you didn't have cameras and pictures taken and all that good stuff.
So they were a college, and now they're going to be a university.
Yes. I received a job probably about a month and a half ago, and in July, Dr. James Hurley, who's the new president, he's going into his second year.
Okay.
He's transitioning to school from college to a university.
Oh, okay.
Tusculum University is the oldest college in the state of Tennessee.
Oh,
yes, it's really old. It's got a lot of tradition. And Doug Jones, who is the former baseball coach, he's now athletic director. He's been there for 21 years. He's done, he didn't want to help me, hired me to put me in a place to be the head coach there. So it's a really nice place. I mean, I know a lot of people haven't heard of it, but here's how I explain it. It's East Knoxville, okay? It's like going towards Pigeon Forge, where everybody goes vacation at, but you keep going, and you got to split Asheville or Bristol, Tennessee. You take the Bristol, Tennessee exit, and you run right into it, exit 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how far is it from here?
4 hours.
Oh, well, that's not bad, is it?
No, my uncles and my brothers and my wife and my mother and everybody in my family, they've traveled 12 hours. They've traveled 15 hours out to Kansas, so 4 hours is nothing to them.
Yeah. They'll be happy that you're that close now.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm sure your mother will expect you to come home a little more often. But I know she'll be down there.
Yes, ma'am.
So as soon as the games start, she'll probably be at every one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So it's been a good situation. It's been a great transition from being an assistant. I was fortunate enough to be an assistant last year to see how that goes, because I've always been a head coach. And now that I'm back in the driver's seat, it gave me a perspective from a assistant standpoint, So it's been really good to me so far. It's just kind of trying to get some players. You got to rebuild, and guys.
Are you starting with a brand new team, or
a brand new team?
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I mean, the school it's got some tradition. It hasn't had Tusculum hadn't had a winning season in college and the basketball side of it since 2009-10. We played them when I was at St. Catherine, and I think had to help me get the job, because they was ranked. We're NCAA Division II. St. Catherine's NAI, so we're a step below them. So we went to play them in 2012, I think it's when it was. We beat them 71-49 when it was ranked 17th in the country. So I think it helped, and I'm pretty familiar with the campus and everything. So it's beautiful. We got a lot of sports. The Cincinnati Reds, their minor league team plays there on a baseball field.
Oh.
I mean, so it's a lot. If you're ever in that area, going to traveling there, go over and see the campus. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I'll just have to stop in and visit, JT.
Yeah, anytime you want to, just let me know.
Yeah. And so then you'll be getting things into place here in a little bit, and you'll be recruiting after that. And so we look forward to hearing all about what your team is doing this year.
Yes, ma'am. Again, it's Tusculum Well, it's going to be Tusculum University.
Uh-huh.
It's in Greenville, Tennessee, East Knoxville. It's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. We got some new guys. We got some players that are coming back from last year. I kept a few of them.
Uh-huh.
And Dr. James Hurley, who's the president there, and Doug Jones, who's the athletic director there, are doing some very good things as far as taking the school and the university to the next level. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
What's the how many students?
Well, it's probably, I think they said it's about a total about 1,400 students. It's a nice size. About 1,100 of those students, 1,200 live on campus. So it's got a nice campus life. It's a really neat little like communities, I like to call it, because it reminds me of St. Catherine. It's real small. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody wants each team to be successful. But we didn't have a football team at St. Catherine, but we have one at Tusculum.
Okay.
We got lacrosse. I mean, we got track. I mean, it's everything. It's big time. So it's the NCAA Division II school.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like though, even though it's a bigger school and all, that it's really family oriented.
It is, and it's just what.
And your daughters will go to school there?
Let's hope.
Now, what's your wife going to do there? Because she works
at Toyotomi.
Yeah.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, as of right now, they're going to stay here, to be bluntly honest, till we get settled
acclimated down there.
Yes, and I like.
That's probably good.
Yeah,
good
she
idea.
knows. I mean, they know me now. By the first year, when I get my first head coaching job at that school, you gotta spend a lot of time, and my wife is a homegrown, which is Carla Burton's her name. She's homegrown.
She's
Springfield.
from here, Washington County.
She ain't. It's hard to get out of her, so she's probably. More than likely they'll stay here probably for a year.
Well, that's probably good until you see.
Yes, it is. And plus, we've been together for 27 years. I mean, so we got together when I was in the 6th grade. She was in the 8th grade. So.
She's an older woman, huh?
Yes. Now, our anniversary, our 17th year is coming up June 2nd. So. We got a unique situation.
Congratulations!
Yes, I appreciate that.
Well, I know that it's a 24/7 job, and so I'm glad you've got a lot of support of your family here that can that'll be there helping Carla and the kids, and when you have to be away and things, and but it sounds like that. I think this sounds like a really good place to be, and they're lucky to have you, JT. I just want them to know, and all the awards you've received and how well you've done with the school. We're going to miss you here, but I look forward to, and I know everyone else will look forward to hearing how you're doing with the school, and. We know it's going to be nothing but great things.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, well, you can follow me. I post everything on I'm a Facebook type guy. That's how I use it. It's free advertisement. So, I'm at my limit now, which is 5,000 friends. Trust me, I'm not that popular. It's just, I try to be friend to everybody so I can get our basketball team out there and get guys out there to be seen. So, but you can look on my Facebook. It's not private. You can look at everything, and I'll be posting different articles, and whether we win or lose, good, bad, or ugly, I'll put it out there to let everybody know. Because Springfield's been good to me. Everybody here has been always showing support. And then my family, my mother, Alma, Burton Eland, and James Eland, my stepdad. So, and then all my brothers and sisters. So, we're a very close-knit family, and I'm very fortunate to have them in my corner.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us today, and we're going to keep your niece in our prayers and thoughts, and we're going to wish her well and ask everyone to try to come to the fundraiser. And if they can't, then maybe they can just contact you and somehow, or, you know. I
tell you, if you want to donate to my sister and their family, we would greatly appreciate it. You can call me, and my number is 859-319-5077. That's my cell phone number, 859-319-5077. And anything is greatly appreciated. I mean, we're going to have a silent auction on Friday, and one of the silent auction items is going to be whoever bids the highest is a Sunday dinner for 4 from my mother. So, oh yeah. So, and she cooks for us.
Oh, she's an excellent cook.
Yeah. So, with that being said, you know, we're just gonna try to raise money. So, keep the prayers coming. Keep my sister in the prayers, and my niece Jaquel Johnson in the prayers. So, and thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, JT.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to see you.
Thank you.